We've been talking a lot about how important AI is, semantic layers is to AI. And I thought maybe I'd just sort of give the listeners a little taste of what that could look like. How about we do that? Have a little bit of fun here. So, what are you seeing here? Well, you're seeing this is what we call Design Center. Remember, I said that you can visually build models. This is the visual objects that you see here. The orange lines are the relationships. You can see there's the code editor view. So that's what that visual model looks like in the form of SML, or semantic modeling language. You can see that relationships, which are the orange lines, here they are. They show up as YAML. You see, we got dimensions and we got metrics, and our metrics are all references to semantic objects. So this is really a set of building blocks that allows semantic modelers to put together those building blocks like Legos. I hate to reuse that analogies that's been way overused. But what it does mean is that I can create new semantic views on top of new data without having to reinvent the wheel. Like, for example, creating a whole new time dimension, or creating a new product dimension, or a customer dimension. I can just reuse those existing objects. So I mentioned, Andrew, that we everybody talks about how AI can use a semantic layer for querying and for creating natural language queries. Well, it's really important to actually use AI to actually generate the model. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my data view here. Here's all my different data platforms. AtScale can talk to many different data platforms. Here's my different schemas and tables. And let's say that I got my internet sales and I want to actually generate a new model for my internet sales. Well, all I need to do is click on that internet sales table. This is a table, in this case, Snowflake, and click on Generate New Model. Now, what that did is actually created a brand new model with all new semantic objects, but you can see that it reused a bunch of existing semantic objects, including that product dimension, that date dimension, that order dimension. You can see that it now is called New Model. I'm going to call it the Andrew webinar model, just so you guys know I'm not cheating. And I'll go ahead and name it as such, the Andrew webinar model, and I'll apply that. You can see that in my code view, my source code control view, you can see here's all the semantic objects that have been created. I can go ahead and commit those and check those into Git. So the source of truth for semantic modeling code is Git, just like any other software project. We're all using Git. And there's my semantic model that I just created for you live using AI. Okay, so let's deploy that model, Andrew. I'm going to deploy it. And by deploying it, that means just like CI/CD, I deployed that semantic model so that I can now query it using my different tools. And there's my Andrew webinar model. Okay, so there it is, right? I'm not going to go ahead and, of course, I can use Excel and Power BI and Tableau and Looker and all different kind of tools I can use to work with this. So, but that's not why you're here. So I'm gonna pull up my chat bot. This Claude, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna show you that Claude is configured to talk to the AtScale MCP server. So these are all the different tools that Claude can use to interrogate at-scale semantic models. So what is MCP? It stands for Model Context Protocol. It was invented in last November by Anthropic. It's open source. Everybody and every chatbot and AI agent is now using it or is about to use it. And what it does is you can think of it as like the JDBC for LLMs. It allows different data sources to share their data with an LLM to make the LLM smarter. In this case, we're sharing the AtScale semantic layer with Claude today. Okay, so let me first just do a quick query and say, show me the AtScale models I can query. It's going to ask me to log. It's going to ask me to log in here. Okay, so what you can see here is that I said, show me my AtScale models. It logged in to AtScale Semantic Layer, and it chose the list catalogs tool. And then here's all my my models that Claude can now see. And there's the Andrew webinar model that I just actually created using AI. So that means I can start to ask questions of my Andrew webinar model. So I can, for example, say, using the Andrew model, show me sales, let's see, by product for, let's do Canada. Okay, so let's see what it's going to do. So it's going to say, first of all, it selected the Andrew webinar model, even though I just said Andrew model. It's obviously an LLM. It's smarter than that. Now it's describing the model. So it's going to say, okay, what is it that I need to do to construct that query? And now it's running the query. Now it's running the query against my brand new model, and it's giving my results of sales by product for Canada. Now this is using this data. It looks, if you, Andrew, Adventure Works because you're a Microsoft guy, and you can tell this is the VentureWorks data. But what you see is that the LLM did a little bit better than just giving me my sales by product. It also made some additional sort of found some additional data about that the Mountain 200 series bikes, the Black and 42 is a great product with the highest sales. Same with Road 150 Red across all sizes, as well as the 200 Silver. So it gave me a little bit more than what I asked for. But that's what a BI guy like me would do with an LLM. You can notice that I asked a question very specifically. I said, show me sales by product for Canada. And that's like really, that's like this equivalent to what I would do if I were to dragging and dropping in Tableau. I was like, you can almost see what I would do, Andrew. I'd pull in sales into my rows. I would put product into my columns, and then I would drag country into my filter and then set it to be Canada. That's not the way people, I think, are going to do things. Instead, what they're going to do is they're going to say, using the Andrew model, show me some insights on sales. So I'm not asking for anything in specific. I'm asking the LLM now to go ahead and run some queries, any queries it thinks that might be relevant, and then compile all that data and give me some insights that I may not have even asked for. Now, if you notice, it's a live demo. You saw that there was a query that failed because the LLM is basically testing all these different ways of exploring the data. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. Most of these are working, and you can see it's getting smarter and smarter as it runs these queries. So I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting the LLM, given all of that rich metadata and context with that the semantic layer provides, and I'm letting it go to town. So let's see what it came up with. It said, okay, it decided to look at my sales performance over time. It says that it did year over year because it used our semantic layer to do time intelligence. So I had 51% growth from 2007 to 2006. It says that my business expanded explosively from 2005 to 2007, et cetera, et cetera. It gave me my geographic distribution, but it also gave me a key insight that says that US and Australia dominate my sales. It looked at my product performance, and noticed that road bikes are the real product that generate nearly half my revenue. It gave me split by demographics, by occupation, professionals are my biggest buyers. This is crazy, right? And what I could do is say, now chart this data. Um, and now I can go ahead and take all those insights and let it actually create the charts for me visually, and write the code to do that. So you can see, right, Andrew, that it's this when you pair an LLM with a semantic layer, it's like you're no longer hunting for the needle in the haystack. It's you're really relying on the LLM to do that for you. And rather than you pointing and clicking and drilling and pivoting, you can just let the LLM find what's interesting in your data for you, rather than you as a human having to ask 100 queries to get to something that wasn't nearly as insightful as what I just got.